And Maria Tavares take everything and take control of my consciousness. She killed off my roach spirits, everything in the middle of the night, man. I need spiritual help. So a lot. It's trying to pull me into Santa Muerte's realm. All right. I thought this was on. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and do this video because it's too much to deal with, and it's too much to get built back together. Anyways, with that being said, to make a long story short, Baron Samedi, I should never put that shit out there, got destroyed. His soul consciousness totally taken out, and damn near his consciousness, like I said, he's part of my bloodline, by Maria Tavares, working with this, from what I understand, they plan on doing something where they're going to bring more wetbacks to still shit, use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see, to steal our legacy, as I talked about here. His consciousness, his soul consciousness, my soul consciousness as well, and decimated it and killed the man damn near in the spirit plane. And with that being said, it was being done by Maria Tavares, Inez, who's Inez Anahanda or Arujo, from what I understand. She's the one that be calling me the N-word every night, stealing my soul consciousness. She was the same one who had who had killed a black sex worker for reporting a wetback ass cousin of hers for rape. I'm going to say this right now. I'm not a big fan of those people. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, some wetbacks in the spirit plane went over there helping them out, watching my This is some evil ass. That's why I'm not a big fan of wetbacks. Another one by the name of Manuel, who works at that 8704 Broadway shop, who, from what I understand, raped an 11-year-old girl. They all went in there and stole Baron Samedi's soul consciousness along with mine. And like I said before in the past, he's, from what I understand, he's a part of my bloodline. And as I said before, I saw it coming years ago with that article with wetbacks taking out magic. But here's the people I was talking about. They want me to put that 114 code because it allows motherfuckers to get at her ass. And she's been trying to, fuck with my soul consciousness, holding that over my head. She stole the soul consciousness of my father that's connected to me in the spirit plane. Hopefully some evil motherfuckers, I understand they got wetbacks that watch this channel that look to try to steal from me. I'm going to say something right now. Wetbacks are energy fucking vampires. Don't deal with them motherfuckers. You look at their creator gods like Quetzalcoatl and all of that. I got my Archangel Michael trying to work on the situation right now. He all of a sudden, with an intrusive, really, it's coming from Maria Tavares. She did something in the spirit plane where her consciousness took over mine. She was mixing her soul consciousness with mine. So I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And I don't have time, I'm told every single day you gotta wait to be healed and all of that, and to be put back, shit that people should take for fucking granted, like the people in them timelines. I keep going back to it, August 22nd, 2022, who took a lot of my shit, had me as a sacrifice. One of them was in die. I don't want to go into it ad nauseum. Now they're using her father, the spirit plan to help me. I need to be released from all this evil shit. But I'm not a bad person. I need to get all this evil shit off. But anyways, I made to, like, yesterday, sit in fucking bed, funky, wait to be put back together. All this shit should be internally, for something that should be taken for granted, the inner the inner, how do I say this, reconstitution of your body should be something you should take for granted. I'm still fucking poor. These people live, and I'm expected to live in hell. I'm not going to tolerate this shit. Like I said, I'm just going to, say fuck it, not let anything or anybody hold anything over my head, like with Maria Tavares. I wanted to say every time I put them codes. I wanted to say every time I put them codes, 114 hers, and all that shit. She wants to do something to block it because it exposes what the fuck she doing. And she don't like that. Better than 694, 695 hertz. She was able to block that, some type of manipulation with my consciousness, soul consciousness. I had a good friend of mine in the spirit plane who saw what was going on. The higher self even reconnected me to that timeline. He showed me that shit is real and wanted to shut her down. With that being said, from what I mean, helping her out, like I say, the motherfuckers come from evil fucking spirits. That's the most evil fucking shit you can do, is to steal somebody's soul consciousness. That's like stealing all the blood out of a person or all of their consciousness, which she tried to do with me with that wetback ass Topa, Maria Santa Muerte, who I planned on doing a vlog. I get pissed off with all this shit because I feel like it's delays on me being able to get back to, the way I was. Me teaching people about, the occult and all of that. But anyways, a bunch of them went over there helping her out. And I'm trying to think of some more, man, because this is disgusting to say the least. To have somebody have that much control, You know, I be hearing that Inez whispering in my fucking ear every single night talking about we gonna sadistically do this. I gotta get this shit off. With that being said, even though they try to intimidate me, it's something about trying to control my ability to play 6,000 hertz, Quetzalcoatl or some shit like that. I started playing it again, and my little road spirits and all of them started helping me get my shit together. I was trying my best to put back Baron Samedi. You know, I saw that Santa Worth, they had some of his soul, you know, some of his consciousness and all of that. And like I said before in another video, I had, you know, the Ars Goetia, they my people. I had them holding it down as much as they can, trying to help me out and all of this shit. Looking out for me as much as they can. You know, the one of the first to help me out was Beelzebub. That's my boy. He's really big on trying to help me out. But anyways, these wetbacks, you know, this shit in the spirit plane with them motherfuckers. I'm gonna say something right now. Them motherfuckers, you know, from what I understand, when they were first created, all they were comprised of was the primordial darkness, and that was it. They didn't even have their higher chakras. And I feel something fucking shit up for me as I talk. You know, it's like yesterday. Them people at 8704 Broadway at that Botanica, they were open yesterday. And that's when I got attacked the worst. You know, with Baron Samedi, I tried to give my spirit team, you know, some room to try to put me back together as much as they can. And it's just, you know, like I say, you know, my inner protection ain't shit. She did something yesterday where she flip-flopped or changed over my fucking highest self, or tried to take her over or some shit like that. You know, like I say before, I want to get out from under these motherfucking curses. I want to be curse-free. Just like your boy from that film, Hannibal, or what they call that, Silence of the Lambs, with the Fajay that would be doing the dance and shit. I kind of think that's sexy when a man be wearing, you know, women's clothes and all of that. It's like being down to earth and letting your guard down. Inez and all of them, them people's higher to higher selves I showed you. They doing with me, stealing their soul consciousness, wearing it, especially going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, stealing our shit. Like I say, there's a lot more. I mean, this is important anytime you getting fleeced like this, because it's down to the bone. And, you know, like I saw a couple of days ago, that wetbag bitch keeps trying to pull me into Santa Muerte's realm, her and Inez and all of them. And my little spirit team, we've been trying to do what we can. You know, they tried eliminating my Archangel Michael and turning into him and all this other. You know, like I say before, we trying to, you know, do something about this wetback bitch. And I'm going to say this right now. I kept seeing Anubis popping up, and that's been one of my biggest, you know, helpers and all of that, you know, biggest assisters. And he's been the one who's the biggest, and, you know, trying to put me back together. Him, Nefertiti was helping at one point. They were trying to fuck with her and her consciousness. So with that being said, being exacerbated with feeling shit moving around that should be in your body and all of that, trying to put you back together, I started playing 6,000 hertz. And then, you know, I'm going to say something right now. Numbers are the key. They are actually, in fact, the language of the universe. If you put a 2 at the end of anything, it allows you to get something back. So I started playing 6. Anyways, I'm going to try to wrap it up and make it short, succinct, and sweet. I got to do something about that wetback bitch at 8704 Broadway. Maria Tavares, she stole the ancestral money along with soul consciousness of both me and Baron Samedi. But, and she, you know, she'd been trying to throw out my dad's soul consciousness, and I believe she did. Out my body as well, so I don't have any spiritual help, no connection to my Godhead. Anyways, to continue on what I was about to say, because the thing cut off, I was playing 6,000 hertz. 6,000 hertz. I started playing 6,000 hertz to get my shit back. And with that being said, 6,000 hertz in conjunction with 295 hertz, which she's tried to disable us from using, along with 295 hertz, and combined with 695 hertz. It's a fucking shame because I want to tell the truth about what the fuck is going on, but I feel hindered because I hear that evil motherfuckers be watching my YouTube channel along with these people hired to hire cells and be plotting and planning and all, and I don't have time for the bullshit. I hear that Maria Tavares is planning on, blocking this frequency in my own fucking body. And I'm not going to tolerate no fucking border hopper, no illegal motherfucker that shouldn't even be over here, whether in the spirit plane or in the physical, bullying me around in my own body. It's like, motherfucker, go fucking clean the house or something. Go mow a lawn. Go do what Quetzalcoatl and Topapac and Tupac and all them motherfuckers made you for. Like when I saw their creation, I saw that they were nothing more than demented, demonic, robotoid motherfuckers. Same with the Olmecs. Blacks are quick to want to associate with that. And I don't understand why y'all want to associate with them motherfuckers. Look, this your lineage. Anubis like it ain't nothing. We can call on Nefertiti like it ain't nothing. Cleopatra, those are the predecessors. I saw their origins and everything. Nothing but regal shit. They come from something greater than the source. They're the predecessors. Not predecessors, but I'm trying to think of another name. But they're not forerunners. But they are the creators of our universe. Them motherfuckers were created to be nothing more than fucking demonic, I don't want to say destructive, but demonic, demented robotoids, like as discussed in Richard Shaver's book. What's the name of that book? Where he talked about the my consciousness getting manipulated now. Where he talked about it was beast entities, the Deros and the Teros. And they remind me a lot of the Teros, pretty much they created gods, like, Quetzalcoatl were straight reptilians that created them to be nothing more than robotic motherfuckers operating on a very low vibrational level. I talked about it in an article years ago, and I can't believe, looking at this curse, I was absolutely right about them. That were created to do nothing more than work industriously so they can feed loose off of them, get loose off of them. And that's it, and that's that. And the toe peck and all of that, the reason why their face is all distorted, that's a sign of evil spirits. People that's been stuck in hell realms. You could use 125 hertz, 1185 hertz to, bring people out of hell realms, 156 hertz out of spirit jars. There's another one I wanted to think of. 735 hertz is, good for cleansing energy and, getting rid of evil shit. But anyways, I saw, there was a guy named Vandermeer or something that talked about reptilians, and they look like, what's the name of that 80s film that the critters? They look like critters, and that's exactly what the Olmecs kind of remind me of when I saw their creation. They offshoots of us. They demented versions of us. They robotic, organic robotoid versions of us. They're not like us. They're not even like the white race. Everybody, even though that story of Yaakov was true, everybody was created with the higher chakras of the light. White people, I learned, light complexion people of the false light. There's the dark light, which is the source light. It's very dark, and blacks and all of that, we have a tendency, or melanated people have a tendency to resonate with that. They come from the false light. The wetbacks were not born with any light. They primordial darkness. That's why it's a pain in the ass dealing with them in the spirit plane, because they're like the oogles. It's hard to deal with them. I think 6,000 hertz works to repel them. But they weren't born with their higher chakras. It took our honorable God, whom we were made in the image of, our demiurge. Theirs is Quetzalcoatl. That's their demiurge. You know, demiurges have their material realm gods, and they have the face of a man, a human, and the face of a dragon. Ours, Yodabeo, gave them the higher chakras. Along with light, the light that we have in everything else. With that being said, you know, that's why, like I say, the motherfuckers are energy vampires. I've been getting bombarded, fucked with by them motherfuckers for the past couple of days, me and Baron Samedi. You know, like I said, he's an ancestor. And I keep getting cut off through having my soul consciousness cut off by Maria Tavares. She almost stole Anubis's at one point. You know, he was trying to help out Baron Samedi and all of that. And dealing with that wetback bitch is like dealing with an evil, pernicious, super, well, very, very sentient, super sentient virus. And she's hard to get rid of. And I want to do a video later on, actually an article on my website. I keep getting told some evil people are going to try to fuck with me for that and remove Santa Muerte from my consciousness. Some old shit. I want to do an article later on talking about how to get rid of Santa Muerte. She rules the wetback over soul consciousness. That's another thing too. You know, everybody, two circles used to talk about it. You got white folks, you got the tall blondes, the reptilians and all of that act as a ruling hierarchy, kind of like watchers, but not really. The Wabians, that actually is an actual race. That's true. But with the wetbacks, what oversees them are, from what I learned in the spirit plane, the tall redheads who cause wars and all of that, and derision. I don't want to say derision, but divisiveness and stuff on the planet. They don't want us to go to wars. And Satan. So this was actually accurate about them. All right, with that being said, you know, unfortunately, because I got so many videos on here, that's why I'm just tired of the bullshit. I keep having this shit fuck around with my consciousness and change it around and steal soul consciousnesses and shit and be putting it into that reader at 8704 Broadway. Terry, I got a reading from. Here's a phone number. Three 778-4498. She also, you know, I saw she also had Baron Samedi, soul consciousness and stuff and all of that in the spirit plane. I've been trying to get that back. She's working through her higher self to make that happen. Maria Tavares, you know, I never fuck with them people again, deal with them wetbacks. But anyways, as I was about to say on video, they're, you know, from what I understand, they open Wednesday too. From what I understand, they're, let me try to articulate my thoughts better. You know, like I was saying before, their Quetzalcoatl, I think I broke it down already. Them motherfuckers, they're nothing like us. And I'm gonna say this right now, you know, they God is the white man. You know, it's got nothing to do with colonialism. I mean, you can read this passage here. Their demiurge, Quetzalcoatl, would shapeshift into a white man. That's their God. That's why I don't fuck with them damn people. They don't respect us. They call us mayates and everything. And, you know, we are the true children of the demiurge of everybody else, of Yodabeo. We come direct from him, and we're made in his image. Hair of wool, skin of bronze. Them demented, demonic robots. They were pretty much made to be slaves to white folks. And I want y'all to read that passage of how, when they saw the Spaniards come in, who got raped by the Moors by the fucking way, when they saw the Spaniards coming, they thought that that was their god Quetzalcoatl come back. So it ain't got nothing to do with colonialism. It's got everything to do with their spiritual, with their derivation, genetic heritage, lineage, and they're nothing like the rest of humanity. So I'm going to blow out these motherfucking cards. I got places to go. I want to pick up some art supplies so I can do a painting about my ancestors, you know. I mean, all this shit be expecting me to just lie down for fucking 4 to 5 hours, 5 to 6 days, just to be put back together, something that everybody should, you know, is able to take for granted and should be able to take for granted. And they keep pulling out this Maria Tavares, my real strong spiritual protection. It's, you know, my poor father, his God self, so I don't have any help. And it's getting on my fucking nerves. That's why I decided busted out the 6,000 hertz frequency and then the 6,002 hertz. And I started using that in combined conjunction with 295 combined with 695 hertz. I'm not playing around with this shit. I want this bitch going. You know, I'm not going to be, you know, and then wait. You got to, you know, with them wetbacks, they only respect teeth. They respect two things. White people, because that's their God. Quetzalcoatl would shapeshift into one. And teeth, you know, when you come out like I'm not putting up with shit. So anyways, in the obstacle position, we got the sun. And I feel like there's somebody that I don't want to say is insignificant, but is an asshole that's trying to whatchamacallit suppress you and block something with you. And they're trying to suppress you as much as they can by intimidating you. You know, I feel like it's somebody at work. So anyways, in the present position, we got the devil. And I feel like there's something that's trying to tempt you to go in the very, very wrong direction. But you know it's, in a way, the right direction. But just beware and be very cautious. Future position, King of Pentacles. I feel like you see unseen help coming from somewhere that's just going to, you know, help put you, make you congruous, put you back, help you, you know, get set up, you know, straight, you know, get all your wishes come true and all of that. Subconscious, we got the Fool. And I feel like you're in a position where you're taking things in your own hands and you're not playing around. You're not putting up with bullshit. Right here, Three of Cups, we got, hold on a second, let me see something. So anyways, we got Three of Cups, and I feel like that pertains to some type of wish fulfillment where if you join together with some other people, you're going to get, you know, whatever it is that you want. You're going to achieve your wishes, accomplish your goals. You know, they always say it takes a village to raise a child. You know, in this case, it takes a lot more to make something happen. So for the advice card, we got the Queen of Wands, and I feel like something is telling you to take back your power and put power back in your hands and not put up with bullshit. And to shut up! Do you sit up? Sorry. So anyway, something is saying take power back. And don't listen to obstructions, take a risk. For the energy that percolates all around. We got the Four of Swords. And I feel that pretty much points towards a lot of attacks upon you, but you're resting and you're taking the time to contemplate. Seven of Pentacles, that's your fears and your hopes card. And something is saying basically that you got a lot of evil shit coming your way. A lot of evil things. Very evil things. I don't want to say that. I think that it harkens to there's a lot to focus on. It could be a lot of good things, but you got to take a stance. For the outcome, Queen of Pentacles, and I see you sitting pretty ultimately, but you got to take your power back. With that being said, if you want a more personalized reading, I'm going to say something right now. Get rid of them wetbacks, play 6,000 hertz. It's a frequency that repels evil spirits, and they're the only motherfuckers that it repels. This shit is getting disgusting.